ready to start. We're gonna start in child's pose, so let's take the knees out nice and wide and let the belly fall in between the space in the thighs, letting your forehead press down on your mat and reaching your arms forward, but let the arms just be inactive. We'll use these first few moments of our practice to give ourselves permission to press pause on everything that we have going on in our life so we can press play on the practice, on our breathing, on our positive mind frame. So guys, whatever brought you here today, whatever brought you on your yoga mat is just a means to get us here. So as much as you can, press pause on all of that. Because when we bring all of that into our practice, then the practice can become about that stuff. And we want to use this practice to start to allow some of that stuff to dissipate, to be able to make some connections with ourselves, to be able to pray or breathe or connect with mantra, whatever it is that you connect with. So here we're going to start really deeply breathing. Big inhales and really big exhales. Remember that Ujjayi breath is a big victorious breath. So the more you breathe, the better you're going to feel, and then the better you're going to feel when you leave. So as you start to deepen your awareness to your breath, we'll make child's pose active. So reaching the arms out, start to spread your fingertips nice and wide. So yogis, your hands become your feet in the practice, which means that they're gonna start to support you. So spread your fingers, take a big inhale, pick up the torso. We're gonna walk the torso all the way to the right side. Now here, we wanna take the torso to the right to right off the bat, start to open up the left side of the body. So yogis, we do store some energy here, and in different metaphysical books it's been said that we store anger in the side body. So yoga is another great way to release some of those negative old stale emotions that don't serve us anymore, allowing us to release them out. So if you're looking for more, maybe dip the left shoulder blade down and see how that really will give you this nice stretch along the side of your waist. Take a big inhale, pick up the torso and come all the way towards the left. Same intention is to just stretch out the side of your body. Drawing the finger pads down, rolling the shoulder blade down, feel the extension in the ribs. If it's available, feel the extension even down towards the back of the hip by really working the right shoulder blade down. And then inhale, come back to center. Keep your head down for a moment or two and start to set some intentions for your practice. So the intentions can be motivational sayings that we say to ourselves to keep us inspired. It could be a mantra that you connect with. It can be a prayer. Anything that's going to help you when you start to go off the path and kind of down a little bit, bring you back up. So hold the intentions, let them guide you, motivate you, and inspire you. Let's find our way to tabletop. In tabletop, yogis, make sure the creases of the wrist, elbows, shoulders line up, as well as the hips and knees. And we'll start to move our spine in some cat-cows. So let the belly dip, relax the shoulders. Take your eye gaze up, be really mindful on your cervical spine and find a big inhale. And then as you exhale, firmly press down away from your mat, chin to chest, squeeze the belly in. Inhale, let it go, relax the shoulders, take your eye gaze up, stretch through your throat, and then big strong exhale, press firmly down, really pressing the knees and shins and tops of the feet away. Again, inhale, let it go, relax the shoulders, tilt the tail up, nice job. Exhale, chin in, belly in, tail under. Coming back to that neutral spine, floating table. So reach the right arm forward and the left leg back and up. This is a little core work. Let's face the palm towards the left and really root the shoulder down. If it's available, square the hips. Inhale, and then as you exhale, round and curl the elbow to knee, really puffing up your spine. Yes, inhale, get long and lift the belly of the hamstring. And then exhale, round and curl, feel the belly press in. Nice. One more. Inhale, get long. And then exhale, round and curl and pause for a moment. Place your right hand down. Let's extend the left leg back and up. And then when we feel comfortable, reach the left arm up. So this is a knee down half moon. We want to make sure it's not a back bend. So we're pulling the ribs together and we're neutralizing the tail. The foot is flexed and when we're lifting that back leg, really engaging our outer thighs. Sometimes balance is tricky, so just take your time there breathing. Bend the knee, start to engage the quadricep muscle. Like a back bend, engage your back muscles. Now grab a hold of your foot. Start to spread your toes and then kick into a back bend of your choice. So some of you want to go deeper, some of you go just a little. So sometimes you might fall out of these poses. That's super normal. Remember, if you fall out, you just get right back in. Beautiful job, yogis. Release, place the left hand down. Let's keep the left leg back and up. Let's walk the palms back a little bit to frame more of our rib cage. Shift the body weight forward. Chin and chest is going to meet the mat. Come down, lift the back leg up. Sunbird bow. Release, press away, lift up. Inhale, shift forward, come back down, sunbird bow. Nice job. One more, push up, inhale, and then exhale, come down. Stay down unless you have a variation that you're working on. Some of the variations can include lifting the back knee, or like Daniela's doing over here, lifting both legs, like Stephanie's doing, lifting a foot. Any option is a great option for your body, just see how you feel. Nice job, everybody. Tabletop pose, dancing lion. So shake out the pose. So we're just moving the hips, moving the shoulders. There is no right or wrong in our dancing lion, yogis. Just look for the sticky parts and get them out of the body. Make sure your breath is big. The bigger you breathe, the better you're gonna feel. So big inhales and big exhales. Nice job, everybody. Come back to that tabletop. Same flow on the left side, so left arm forward, right leg back and up. Take a big inhale and then exhale, round and curl, elbow to knee, squeeze the core. Good, inhale, really challenging our balance here. Exhale, round and curl and squeeze. Nice, one more, inhale, get long. And then exhale, round and curl and squeeze. Gently place the left hand down directly underneath the shoulder. Start to kick the right leg and arm back and up. So again, sometimes the balance can be a little tricky. If you're wobbling, just slow down and focus and keep trying. Flexion in the foot, engagement of the thighs. Like we're gonna move into a back bend, bend the knee, start to fire up the back muscles, heel towards the glute, good. Now reach back, excellent. Grab the foot and start to kick. Adristi is really important. That eye gaze, find it, focus on it, breathe and see where your body can go into. Beautiful, girls. Release, just the right hand's gonna come down. Walk the palms back a little if you need it. 3 more sunbird bows. Come on down and then push back up. Nice. Again, inhale and then exhale, come down. Awesome job. One more, push back up. Make sure you keep the elbows nice and tight in. Come on down, lift the legs, stay or play. This is a nice big back bend, so relax your throat, relax your jaw. Again, everybody's gonna look a little different because they're taking a variation that suits their body. Release, tabletop. Let's pick up all 10 fingers and rotate the palms backwards on the mat, stretching out the insides of the wrist, inner elbows, inner biceps. So at the yoga joint in our hot fusion flow, we do a warm-up flow, and the warm-up flow is what we're doing here. There's different variations of our warm-up flow through every class, so it's important to really warm the body first before you get into the vinyasa, so you know you keep the muscles, tendons, joints safe. Nice job, girls. Release. Let's find downward facing dog. So spread your fingertips nice and wide, curl your toes, lift your hips back up. So we'll take about 5 to 8 breaths here just to kind of warm up. You can stay still in down dog if you want to bend the knees from side to side, maybe bending the knees from side to side. Really what's most important in this pose is, as you can see, even though the girls are kind of moving and warming up, we're not allowing our upper back to round too much. The goal is to really lengthen your spine and to get the stretch in the legs. Oftentimes, what I will see as a teacher is people's heads are so low working towards the mat with their arms up. So that's going to stress out the shoulder joint. So Monica here has a beautiful alignment with her ears lining up to the biceps and triceps, and then her spine is lengthening, and then she's working the stretch down the backs of her legs. So remember, if you're flexible and you can work the chest down, that's fine, but let that work down as a whole, not just the head stressing out the neck. Step the feet together, take the right leg back and up, and we'll again get a little organic. So open and close the hips, bend and straighten the knee, circle out the ankles, see how that whole right side of your body feels. Remember, we talked about in the beginning of the flow that our hands become our feet, so really press down into the hands. That way we're not sinking into the creases of the wrist or ticking off the joints. Nice job, yogis. Take the leg up to the sky. Come high on the tippy toes. We'll shift forward, round and curl the knee to the nose. Be mindful that you don't take the nose back to the knee, but rather the knee forward. Inhale, reach the leg all the way up. Big breath in. Draw the knee back towards the nose. Look forward and lightly step it through to a lunge pose. We'll press the back foot down and walk our way to the left in a wide fold, like a pasarita. And we'll find hammock or wide dog. Just walking your hands off the mat. For here, it's on the bamboo floor, so wherever it is where you are. Again, making sure here, because it is called hammock, you will notice a slight sinking sensation. It's important to remember that while you may sink a breath or two, you don't want to live there. So you can visit that expansion in the body, but don't live there, because remember, when we sink constantly every day, that can actually wreak a lot of havoc on the joints. We want to create healthy flexibility through strong stability. So there's a big difference. Nice job, yogis. Pick up your hands, spin your fingertips back, and just reverse the pose so the chin can come down towards the chest. Now here, you can really work the chin to chest action because you don't have your arms forward, so you're actually not putting pressure on the cervical spine. And then you can use that kind of traction there, almost like you're pulling the floor towards the body to really work the chest all the way through. Beautiful. Nice job, everybody. Release, big breath in, spin the right toes forward. Find a lunge pose. Palms are underneath the shoulders, core is engaged. Let's pick the right foot up and bring it to the back of the mat for plank. Plank is that full body integration pose. We want to make sure that we're not sinking into the plank. So you can see these girls are doing a beautiful job keeping their hips and shoulders lined up. Oftentimes people drop their hips too low, and then that puts too much pressure on the lower back. Shift the body forward, take an inhale, halfway down, chaturanga. Remember, you can drop the knees if you need it. Roll into upward facing dog. So upward facing dog, shoulders back, chest lifts. Yeah, make any adjustments that you need to suit the up dog. Inhale, and then exhale, push up and back, downward facing dog. Again, just check in. It's important to not only check in physically while we practice, but check in mentally. Make sure that your breath is really matching what you want. Make sure you're using your breath to get you deeper, and then check in with those intentions or those thoughts, because yogis, remember, what we think about consistently is what we will create in our life. So let's try to get rid of some of those stale, old thoughts that don't serve us anymore. Step the feet together, left leg sweeps the sky, opening and closing the hips, bending and straightening the knees, circling out the ankles, whatever feels good. See how that whole left side of your body feels. And again, it's very organic, so there's really no right and wrong. You do want to try to be mindful of that upper torso area. Nice. So let's take the leg up, come high on the tippy toes, round and curl, knee to nose. This is a really deep, deep, deep abdominal crunch, so feel it in the core. Inhale, sweep it up, big breath in. And then as the knee comes towards the nose again, look forward and lightly step it through to the lunge pose. Lengthen the shoulders and reconvene your breath. So inhales and exhales. Step the foot down and walk your way towards the right this time. Back in a wide fold. Press the feet down, take the hands to your hips. Inhale, rise to stand. So once we get to standing, just lengthen your spine. We'll interlace the fingers behind the back. If you need a towel or a strap here to assist you in the shoulder stretch, especially if you have a lot of tightness or stickiness going on, make sure you grab a towel or a strap. Inhale, look up, lengthen your spine, and then exhale, find a forward fold with a shoulder stretch. So again, we want the torso to move and the neck and the head to move as a whole. So oftentimes we're just jamming chin to chest, but then nothing else is working. So it's okay for the face to start to come through the legs, but we don't want to jam it. So use your core, use your quads. If your body weight is sinking back into the heels, see if you can let it go towards the balls of the feet and toes, and then take one more big breath in, and then stay on your exhale and try to let your body go a little deeper. Excellent job. Release. Release the hands down. Spin the left toes forward and find a left side lunge. From here, we're going to take the back leg all the way up to meet the front foot in a forward fold. Inhale, little halfway lift, expand. We will open up our mouth this time and vocally exhale, let it go. Good, yogis. Inhale, roll the shoulder blades back, lengthen. Vocal exhale, let it out. One more. Inhale, roll the shoulders back, open it up, vocally exhale, out. Now we're going to reverse swan dive up today, but if you'd like to roll up, then you can roll up one vertebra at a time. So let's press down. Inhale, reach your arms all the way up. Take the hands together and let's bring them right down to your heart center, just gaining some equilibrium here, finding our breath, reminding ourselves of our intentions. Inhale, reach your arms up. Small little back bend. So think about reaching up before you think about sinking down. It's all about the lift, the pressing down, lifting up. Inhale, back up to center, and then exhale, swan dive, forward fold, let it go. Inhale, roll the shoulder blades back, lift the chest. Keep the chest lifted. Take the palms down and walk, step, or float back to chaturanga. Roll into upward facing dog. On a big inhale, expand your chest. Yes, and then exhale, downward facing dog. Right away, we must breathe here, because if we don't breathe through the vinyasa, it actually can make us feel this false sense of being tired in the flow, but it's really just because we haven't oxygenated the body. So breathe. Step the feet together. Take the right leg back and up. Now our body's been here before, so high on the toes, knee to nose, round and curl the spine. Feel that deep abdominal crunch. Inhale, nice. Reach the right leg up and then swing it through for a lunge. We'll stay high on the back heel for crescent pose. Inhale, reach the arms all the way up. So yogis, sometimes when you're down and you reach up, you're putting a little bit of pressure back in your back body by your kidneys. So really open up there, yeah. Feel the extension all the way out the fingers. Inhale big, and then exhale, we'll reach forward, hover and hold. So when we take this Ardha Anjayasana or half crescent, we really get the heart rate up. So this is a great way to just stimulate some blood flow and oxygen flowing in our system. Place the left hand down, and on an inhale, reach the right arm up, lunge twist. Every single time you twist in yoga, you give your body this really great chance to detox. So we start to use our own body to heal. Really plug in those shoulders. Nice, girls. Really open and fire up the back body and twist a little bit deeper. Nice alignment, everybody. Just take the right hand to the inside of the foot and counter twist the pose, reaching the left arm up. So I know sometimes the brain tells you to push the back foot down, but we want to keep the back heel up in the counter twist because we actually want to stimulate the brain a little bit here. So if it's a little bit tricky on the balance, that's normal. Let's take our hands down to frame the foot once again. Inhale, on your exhale, start to straighten out your right leg. So it's a Parsvottanasana variation. So from your view, you might have not seen what I saw. What happens is sometimes people like to pick their back foot up here like Stephanie and Paula did with a 45-degree angle. That's great. The other girls have their heel lifted because that's what feels good for them. It is a variation in the pose, so you have to see what feels best. Ultimately, we're working on squaring the hips, letting the chin come to the chest, letting the back of the head come long, and then whatever the back leg does, it does. Inhale, little lift. And then once again, we'll press the back foot down, walk our way towards the left in a wide fold. Third set of Pasarita, we'll take our peace fingers and bind the big toes. So inhale, roll the shoulder blades back. Now again, this is a full integration. So you're lengthening, and then as you exhale, you're gonna feel your chest moving through your thighs. But it's not just your arm strength that is supporting you in the pose. As you can see, the girls are really firing up their quads, and they're using their back muscles and their core muscles to get them through. So it doesn't matter how far you go through, just be in integrity with your alignment and with your body mechanics. Beautiful job, everybody. Slowly release. We'll take the hands to hips. We'll stay facing the left. Press down, inhale, rise up to stand. Let's find warrior two pose. So spin your right toes forward towards the front. Reach your arms out and start to bend right down into the right knee. Now in warrior two, yogis, make sure your knee doesn't jet over your toes and really power up your back leg. We're gonna pump warriors for 3 times. So inhale, reach your arms up over your head, touch your palms together, and then exhale, warrior two, get nice and low. Feel the breath. Inhale, come up, pull the ribs in, and then exhale, warrior two pose. One more, inhale, come up and squeeze. Exhale, warrior two, and pause. Flip your right palm up and let's exalt the pose, reaching up and stretching back. In the beginning of the flow, when we were on our knees doing child's pose, and we went right, we went left, we really opened up the waist. So our body's nice and ready for this, so just go for it. Feel the stretch. Good, bend into the right knee. Excellent, yogis. Warrior two, extended angle. So the options are to either take the forearm to thigh, spinning the bicep to ear, but remember, if you're taking that variation, it's a means to press away. So Danielle's not just sinking and overloading in her body, she's really using this as a way to press away from her body so she can feel length. And then you'll notice some of the other girls are doing a different variation, which is great. You can take your hand to the inside, outside. Some of you like to take a bind here. Some people like to take bird of paradise here. Some people like to take that near Lamba Parsvottanasana. Parsvottanasana. It's a little bit of a different variation where you straighten out the right leg and you float the back leg up. So everybody's gonna do something different. We'll take about 5 more breaths. And remember, whatever variation you're taking, make sure you're breathing. So stay committed. If you fall, it's part of it. Everybody falls in yoga. Beautiful job, everybody. Warrior two pose, lizard lunge. So we're gonna cartwheel the hands to the inside of the right foot, spin up on the back knee, drop the back knee down. Good. We'll take the forearms down. You can be at 45 degrees with the right foot. You can plant the foot down. If it's hard for you to get your forearms down, what you can do is you can use your blocks. You can place blocks down, and basically what that will do is that lifts the floor to you. You can use blocks in any of the poses to bring the floor closer. It's a matter of preference. Now from here, you can notice Daniela here has her back knee lifted, which is great. She's just trying to work the stretch a little bit deeper in the psoas and in the hip flexor. The other girls have their knees down. Stephanie has her toes curled. Everybody does something a little different to tweak the pose to make it better for their body. Inhale, let's lift the torso up. Keep the left hand down. Now we'll roll the foot down so it's at a 45-degree angle. Reach back, bend the knee, grab a hold of the foot, and start to stretch out your quadricep muscle. Now there is a chance that you will not grab the foot today because the quad or hip is really, really tight. So you're just gonna stay like what Paula's doing. She's still getting the twist and she is still really feeling that in her left hip, just not getting it too much in her quad for today. So 2 more big breaths. Make sure you're not overloading your left wrist. So it's a press down to lift action. Excellent job, girls. Release the foot. Heel toe the right foot to the midline, shift the hips back, half split. So the reason we're just gonna take half split here is because we're gonna use this pose to transition into a balancing pose. So sometimes if I cue this in a class, people wanna take a full split, but we'll get full split later in the flow. I promise I won't jip you. So really work the chest down, flexion in the toes. Think about the pinky toe side of your foot really pressing back to get that whole stretch up and through your IT band. So here we're gonna rock and roll into Ardha Chandrasana half moon. So from that half split, you lean forward, you walk it out, right hand down, maybe on the fingertips, maybe the palm is flat, reaching and extending the left arm up, squaring off the hips. Eventually, if you can take your eye gaze up, switch the eye gaze up. Remember, falling is part of the practice, so just see how you can manage breathing and focusing no matter what's going on in the brain. Take the left hand down and place the left foot down so you're in a forward fold. Inhale, little lift. Exhale, forward fold, let it go. Press down, yogis, reverse swan dive all the way up. This time we're gonna interlace the fingers, release the index finger, Ardha Chandrasana 1. Take a breath in, reach up, and then exhale, push your hips left and reach your body right. So this is the half moon 1 pose. In the half moon 1, we're really trying to expand and stretch the whole left side of our body. We've done some poses already that have really given us the opportunity to open up, so we're nice and warmed up for this one. Keeping the left hip a little bit forward. Press down. Inhale, reach up, up, up. Yes, take a big breath in. And then exhale, move the hips right and reach the body left. So what sometimes happens is the right hip moves back on us a little bit, so keep the right hip forward, because remember, we don't want to go into a back bend at all here. This is a really nice, deep, pure side stretch. Excellent, yogis. Inhale, lift up. Back bend of your choice. If you need to support your lower back, that's a great option. If you want to keep your arms up, that's a good option. About 5 big breaths. So everybody's doing a beautiful job really lifting out of their lower back. Their head is really lengthening to the back wall, not just sinking down to the ground. Excellent. Inhale, rise to stand, and then exhale, forward fold. Let it go all the way down. Inhale, halfway lift, and then exhale, walk, step, or float it. Chaturanga. Upward facing dog. Inhale. Exhale, downward facing dog. Good, we'll keep it going. Step the feet together. Left leg sweeps the sky. Back high on the toes, knee back towards the nose. So again, we're kind of breaking away at some of the layers, really getting into those abdominals. Inhale, take it all the way up. Draw the knee back towards the nose and lightly step it through to a lunge. Press down into your feet. Inhale, reach your arms up, high crescent. So again, yogis, when you're down and you're up, make sure you're not overloading your lower back. You want to really power up that back leg. Feel the stretch and the expansion really throughout the hips all the way through the fingertips. Inhale, and then as you exhale, reach forward, allowing your knee and shin to track towards the front, really firing up your back quad and breathing. Gently place the right hand down. Inhale, sweeping the left arm up. So oftentimes people just pull their shoulder blades together. What you want to do is you want to fire up the back muscles. So the more she fires up her back muscles, the more the chest is going to open. She's going to be able to twist without really overloading her joints at all. Beautiful job. So good. Release, left hand down. Inhale, right arm up. So oftentimes we're just testing the waters. So once you test the waters, if it feels right, stay in it. And if it doesn't, then back up a little bit, yogis. That's the best part about this practice. It's a learning practice. We're learning about ourselves, about our bodies. Take your hands down. Start to straighten out your front leg. Take your time there. Make sure you're inhaling and exhaling. Yogis, we will always continually through these classes talk about how important our mindset is. So remember, where the mind goes, the body's going to follow. Yoga means union, yoking, connection. So when you feel like your thoughts are going down, guess what? Your body's not going to feel like you can do it. But when you feel your thoughts vibrating at a high frequency, you will feel your body vibrating at that frequency. So stay strong mentally to stay strong physically. Inhale, little lift, and then press the back foot down and walk your way to the right in a wide fold. Good, so this is actually our 4th set of Pasarita. We'd like to take 4 sets of this pose in our Hot Fusion Flow to give you the opportunity to take Yogi's Choice. So now will be a Yogi's Choice. So we've already done a hammock, if you remember. Then we did our shoulder stretch. Then we did our peace finger bind. So now you can either take one of those three, or you can possibly float up into an inversion of your choice. Forearm stand, handstand from wide if you're working there. If you're working headstand, tripod stand, or if you just simply want to stay in your forward fold. Even adding a twist here could be good for you. You want to work what you are needing today. So that's why everybody's going to look a little bit different, because everybody's practice is always going to be different. And maybe one day you're working this and maybe one day you're working that, and that's a great option as well. Nice job, yogis. If you're inverting, slowly join us back in a wide fold. So let's catch our breath here. Really feel the feet. Take the hands to the hips. Inhale, press down, lengthen back up to stand. Warrior two pose. So spin the left toes forward, bending into that left knee. Flip the palm and exalt the pose, reaching up and stretching back. So even though we're feeling this in the side, root the feet down and feel the extension across the rib cage. Make sure your shoulders didn't become your earrings, so roll your shoulder blades back and down. Good job. Warrior two, forearm to thigh, bicep to ear. Again, now this is a great place to stay. Wherever you're taking your forearm or your hand, wherever it's connecting, make sure it's a means to press away. And then if you bind. And then if you decided you wanted to take the Nirlamba or that floating unsupported Parsvottanasana or Bird of Paradise, these are options that we like to add on here in the flow. Remember, sometimes staying is actually harder than flowing. So holding a pose for 5, 8, 10 breaths even can be a really intense experience that will actually make you stronger mentally and physically. So wherever you go, you got 2 more breaths. Nice job. Excellent. Warrior two. Cartwheel the hands to the inside of the foot, low lizard lunge. Spin up on your back heel, drop the back knee down, unless you're taking the variation where you keep the knee lifted, and take your forearms down. And again, yogis, if you need your block, use a block. That's what they're there for. This is a really good hip stretch. A lot of times where we get into these poses, we can get a little fidgety because they're intense, but when we have that congestion, that's what makes it feel so intense. But congestion in the body is metaphoric to sitting in a traffic jam. If you're in a traffic jam, the only thing that's going to get you out is being patient. We can't control these things. When we get really frustrated in a traffic jam, it makes it so much worse. So when you get into these poses where you feel that traffic jam internally, the best thing to do is just breathe. The more you teach yourself to breathe through this congestion and through this adversity in your body, when you're faced with these situations in your life, the more you're apt to get to your breath and keep your cortisol levels low. Nice job. Inhale, lift the torso. Plant the right hand down. It's a twist, bend the knee, grab the foot. So we really like to build in this practice, so every pose is really building us to the next. So if you remember, when we were in the first warm-up flow and we were in knee down half moon, we bent the knee, we grabbed the foot, and we kicked. This is a very similar action on the body. It's just now you're tweaking it. You're getting into a little bit deeper parts of your body and of your hips and your glutes. Slowly release, yogis. Heel toe the left foot to the midline. Shift your hips back, half split again. So again, we want to take half split because this pose is a means to transfer us and transition us into the next. So feel the left hip shift back a little bit and then push into the big toe side of the right foot, lengthening your entire torso over that left leg. So good. Inhale, lift the chest, rock and roll, half moon. Take your time. This can be a tricky transition. When we work balancing poses, we work the left and right hemisphere of our brain. When we do this, we fire neurotransmitters that could be sleepy. So this wakes our body up. So just be mindful. If you fall, that's fine. Get back in. From here, we'll just take right foot to meet the left, right hand down, so we're back in the forward fold. Toes and heels touch. Inhale, little lift. Exhale, let it go. Good. With our toes and heels touching, bend the knees, sweep the arms up. Chair pose, Utkatasana. In chair pose, we want to make sure we don't dump the energy down. So even though we are sitting, we don't want to hang out there. So we sit, but we lift and we reach. Come halfway down to half chair. Now we're going to really work on strengthening the ankles and the feet. Squeeze the ankles together, lift up the heels, put all the weight into the tippy toes, but elongate and breathe. Inhale. Now as you exhale, either take a crow pose or take a forward fold. So crow is definitely not for everybody. If you have crow in your poses, take it. Excellent job, girls. If not, stay in a forward fold. And then we'll find a freestyle vinyasa. So at your own pace, you can walk, step, float, chaturangas, up dogs, exhale, down dogs. Beautiful job, yogis. I always love to see the students kind of taking initiative to do their own little flow, because that means that they're really paying attention to their body's needs. So we'll take the hands and walk them back to meet the feet. We'll get up our wrists for a breath or two. So your feet are going to stay about hip distance apart, which is actually not that wide. You can measure your hip distance by taking your two fists, if you need it, together to touch the insides of the feet. And then we'll either take our peace finger grips or we'll take the palm underneath the foot. So it's either Pada Hastasana, which they're doing here, or Pada Gustasana, which she's doing here. So it depends. See what you like. Make sure you stay with your breath. Shift the body weight a little forward. It tends to sit in your heels. And then again, yogis, this is that full body stretch. So much is going on. We're really boosting immunity. We're really lowering our cortisol. We're really oxygenating the organs and the blood and the brain and the heart. So this is such a good pose. Slowly release. And we'll take a yogi squat. So heel toe the feet wide. Toes out, heels in, squat down. So sometimes yogi squat is hard. You'll feel your heels lifting. If that's the case for you, that's okay. If you have a block, sit on a block or two. Either stay here with your hands at heart, really working the pelvic floor muscles up, or taking your right arm in front of your right leg, sweeping the left arm up. Once again, we get this amazing opportunity in our flow to really feel our side body and strengthen our oblique muscles. Now, some of you stay here. Sometimes a bind feels good, reaching that left arm back and binding. Some people from here heel toe the feet together and they play in some balancing challenge poses, coming up into flying garland, or once again that bird of paradise. If that's what you like, you can add that on here. If not, stay, because staying is just as tricky as moving into another version of the pose. Slowly release, taking the hands to heart. Inhale, lift the torso. Other side, left arm reaches left, right arm sweeps the sky. So again, the girls are doing a great job. I can really see the work that they're doing. They're trying not to sink. So as they sink, they kind of pull up. If you like the bind, take the bind. So we want to really work the pelvic floor, work those energetic locks. When we really get in tune with the energetic locks, we stay lifted throughout our flow. Beautiful job, girls. Release. Forward fold at the back of the mat. Excellent job. At the back of the mat, let's reverse swan dive all the way up. Take the hands together, bring them into the heart center. We'll heel toe the feet together so we're more in midline. Put the weight into the left leg. Let's bend the right knee and just take an interlaced grip. So we'll bend the right knee up to the chest and just interlace at the knee. Sometimes this is tricky enough on our balance, so maybe you're gonna stay here. Maybe you're gonna grab the outside of the knee or the outside of the foot, extending the leg out, reaching the right arm back, dancing Shiva twist. Now in dancing Shiva, if your balance is tricky, you can use a strap, maybe just holding the knee, pressing down, reaching and twisting, taking the eye gaze to the back wall. On an inhale, come back to center. Either take the peace finger grip into the big toe or grab the inside of the knee, reaching the left arm left and the right leg right. Now from here, try not to sink into the left hip. So wrap it up and in, lift the pelvic floor, and then if you can, take your eye gaze to the left. See how it feels to just stand up in the body. Come back to center, take the left hand to hip, take the leg back to center. Now flex the toes, release, and slowly let the foot come down. Nice job. Tadasana, mountain pose. Putting the weight into the right leg, bending the left knee. We'll interlace first. So here we're just seeing how our balance is today. If your balance is tricky or compromised, just stay here. Don't go any further. If you want to go further, pull the knee into chest, grab the outside of the foot, knee, or use a strap. Press into your standing leg, extend the leg out. Just like any twist, yogis, keep the hips square. Lift the chest up. Remember, if you fall, you work right back in and try again. Good, come back to center. The peace finger bind binds the big toe. Stay rooted in your standing leg, left, right arm right. Now try not to sink right, but lift up. And then from there, eye gaze can go to the right, lifting the heart and chest, watching your thoughts. Nice job. Take the hand to hip, bring the left leg back, left hand to hip, try to keep the leg out, and then slowly release. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, forward fold, let it go. Nice job, yogis. Walk it out, downward facing dog. Take a big inhale, and then exhale, empty it all out, let it go. And then take a big inhale. This time when you're exhaling, look forward, walk, step, or simply float, feet to hands. Nice job. Inhale, little lift there. Exhale, fold. Press down, reverse swan dive all the way up. If you catch a back bend, catch a back bend. Remember, you don't always have to take the back bend at the top there. It's up to you. Maybe upward handstand if it suits you better. Inhale, back up. Exhale, forward fold. Let it go. Inhale with the halfway lift. And then exhale, walk, step, float it back, chaturanga. Upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Nice job, yogis. Feet together. Right leg sweeps the sky. Warrior two. So we've been here before. So step the foot forward, press the back foot down, and cartwheel nice and big. Straighten out the legs, zip up the thighs. Heel toe your back foot in once, twice, 3 times. For Trikonasana pose, a triangle. Inhale, and then exhale, reach forward. Take the hand to the shin, foot, floor, or maybe even a block. Reaching your left arm up. So remember, wherever your hand goes, it's that same connection and commitment really to make sure we don't sink. Yes. So it's pressing down to lift up. Now, if you like Utthita Trikonasana or that bicep to ear variation, that's an option. If you don't like it, keep the left arm up. Sometimes people like to take both biceps to both ears. That's really hard. That's really working your obliques. If you like that option, take it. Inhale, rise to stand. Let's exalt. So reach the left arm down and reach the right arm back, neutralizing the tail. Come back to center, take the hands to hips. Heel toe the back foot in and pivot all the way around to the front. Eagle pose, Garudasana. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, left arm under, left leg up and over. Now, if you can't do eagle because the upper body's tight, the shoulders are tight, you can actually just kind of give yourself a nice big hug. And then, if you can't wrap, just bend the knee and either cross the legs, pushing one foot down, any way that helps you to try to get into the pose. Sit a little bit more, really hug the navel to spine. Slowly start to release Dekasana, eagle, airplane. So reach the arms out, body down, leg up. So here, they're really working their bodies. The back leg is engaged, the glute muscle is really fired up, they're balancing. Transitioning to half moon with the left hand down and the right arm up. So revolving the pose, flexing the foot. So in revolving half moon, we want to try as much as we can. Yes, good adjustment to keep the hips square, really reaching that right arm up. One more big inhale, yogis. You can do this. Press down, open up. Take the right hand down, sweep the leg to the sky, standing split. So you can keep your hands down. You can walk back and cup a heel. Cupping the heel is really challenging on your balance, so see how that feels. The left leg goes where it wants. You can get that leg way up high. You can keep it a little bit down. See if you need an open hip, a closed hip. Now, some of you work pendulum swings or handstands here. If you work any of those, take it. If not, we'll find a seated twist. So it's totally up to your practice. You can see here, some of the girls are doing their pendulum swings, just kind of working on handstanding. This is a great way to start. Once we get all the way down to the seat to take the twist, the left hand is at the base of the spine. Sorry, the right hand is at the base of the spine. The left arm is up, inhale. And then as you exhale, start to twist. So make sure this right foot is really pressing down. Inhale to lengthen, exhale to twist. Find the sit bones and see if you can root them down to the mat. One more big exhale. And then release for a counter twist. The left hand can come down, the elbow can come into the inner knee, or you can take a little bow. And then inhale, yogis, lift the torso. This right leg is gonna swing all the way to the back. The left leg is gonna swing to the front. We'll find straddle splits. So flexing the toes, working the sit bones down, and then once your sit bones get rooted, if you wanna come forward, you can start to come forward. If coming forward is not where you are today, you stay where you are. Also, if you feel like it's really difficult to rotate the pelvis, you can use a block. And when you sit on a block, that will lift up the tail and drop the pubic bone a little bit, and that will help you to start to feel that rotation in your pelvis. That's an option if you need it. But otherwise, we'll find a few more breaths to really feel the expansion in the pose. Feet can be flexed, quadricep muscles engaged. Eventually, if you come down all the way, come all the way down, chest to the ground. Inhale, lift up the torso. Let's swing the right leg all the way forward to meet the left. Bend both knees, place the feet flat. Find your sitting bones, so sit up nice and tall in the body. Boat pose, Navasana, reach your arms up. Inhale, and then on your exhale, extend the legs straight up. Now we want to work the chest up and the legs up. Yes, if it's too intense, you just take a break or you bend the knees. Breathing. Now we'll cross at the ankles. Just lift the hips, take the palms forward, and jump or walk back. Plank pose, chaturanga. Yes, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Nice job, breathe it out. This is really important, guys. Here is the time in your flow where you really want to make sure you're on top of your breath. When you breathe, you bring awareness to the prefrontal lobe of the brain, the third eye, what yogis call it. Scientists and doctors call this the third eye, the prefrontal cortex of our brain. The yogis call it the third eye. When we're breathing here, we're keeping in tune with the parts of ourselves that keep us in this positive mind frame, not going back into the brainstem where we feel like fight or flight. So stay in your breath, it's so important. Step your feet together, left leg sweeps the sky. Warrior two, same flow on the other side. So cartwheel big, open up. Straighten out the front leg, zip up your thighs, heel toe the back foot in once or twice. Inhale, triangle pose, reach forward. Take the hand to the shin, foot or floor. Again, yogis, make sure you're not sinking down, good, but you're using your hand as a means to press away. And then some people like the bicep to ear. If that's you, take a bicep to ear variation. And then if you don't like the bicep to ear, you just keep the arm up. And then sometimes if you want to float it, both biceps to both ears, that's very intense in the abdominals, also in the lower back. Make sure you feel ready for that. Press down, inhale, rise up and exalt. Right arm down the leg. Left arm sweeps back. Feel the stretch. Slowly release, take the hands to the hips, heel toe the back foot in. We'll pivot all the way around to the front of the room. Eagle pose. Inhale, reach your arms up. Exhale, right arm under, right leg over. So remember, if you can't do the full eagle wrap, you can reach and grab a hold of your elbows and really work your fingertips towards your midline of the body, bending the knees, and then again, if you can't hook the foot back, you can just cross the legs. Sitting as low as you'd like. The lower you go, the more your heart rate's gonna get up. So if your heart rate gets up, that's very normal. So we'll start to transition to airplane, Dekasana, arms out. The palms are gonna be a little bit higher than the shoulders. The chest goes down, excuse me, and the leg goes up. Yes, so this is full body integration. You gotta breathe, you gotta concentrate. Now we'll slowly find revolving half moon. Right hand goes down about 12 to 14 inches in front of the foot. Left arm goes up, but remember, as soon as the left arm goes up, make sure that the back leg doesn't sink down. So reach up and reach up together. Yes, take the left hand down, yogis, standing split. Nice job. Start to walk the body back. You're nice and warm now. You've been flowing here for about 50 minutes. So your body's really warm, your heart rate's up, you're moving. Good job, yogis. If you're pendulum swinging, remember, just like a pendulum, that foot comes forward, you press down and lift up. It's little hops, just teaching ourselves to eventually go up into the handstands. Nice. So good. And then when you're done playing, come all the way down to that seated twist. This time, the left knee's in front, left leg's behind. Inhale, reach the right arm up. Exhale, start to twist. Remember, this whole left inner thigh is going to work towards the right rib cage. And we don't want to crank the neck, but if the neck moves as a whole with the torso, then we can move the entire system. We just don't want to tweak any area of the body. Lifting and lengthening here. Nice job, yogis. And then release, little counter twist, facing the right. Good. And then from here, just take both legs straight forward. Find your sit bones, both legs straight. Flex your feet. Paschimottanasana, hands to feet here. Inhale, reach your arms up. And then exhale, reach forward, grabbing a hold of the feet. Remember, you can use a strap. You can either peace finger bind or reach and grab a wrist or interlace. Just feeling that nice deep stretch. This is super similar to Padahastasana when we're standing. It's that really good circulation pose. You're getting a full body integration. So you're really working the stretch from the toes, down the backs of the legs, up the body, through the spine, out the head, out the fingertips. Awesome job, girls. Slowly release. Second set of a boat pose, unless you want to go a little bit more and take it down into half boat, or sometimes we call this canoe. So lift the legs, lift the chest, keeping either knees bent or legs straight. If you want to come halfway down, you can come halfway down, but this is really intense. See how the girls are really lifted and strong in their core. Inhale, lift the legs, lift up, cross at the ankles, take the palms forward and jump back, chaturanga. Awesome. Upward dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Breathe. Good. Reclining thunderbolt. So we'll come down to the knees and separate the feet wide. And as we separate the feet wide, we'll let the hips come down. Now this pose, especially like me, it's really hard, this one. Some people can go into this pose no problem, and others have a harder time. So if you can go into it easily, then the knees stay together, and then she's on her back and she's grabbing opposite elbows. When the knees start to come apart, we just don't want to go any further. We also, in this pose, want to make sure that the heels and feet are lining, our toes, are lining up. If the toes splay out, it's not worth it. It's too much pressure on the inner knee. Just don't come all the way down. You can also sit on a block here and not even worry about coming down at all. This is a great stretch on the quads. This is one of those poses that I promise, if you practice every day, you will get better at. That's the thing about a lot of these poses, yogis. It's really about the repetition. It's about the practice. It's about what we're learning throughout the process. So don't worry about if you can or can't do things. Just go with the flow. We'll slowly come up and we'll add some back bends here. Camel pose, Ustrasana. So get your breath, come up onto the knees, separate the knees nice and wide. Now, just like any back bend, we don't just want to jam the head back. So let's grab onto the lower back, roll the shoulder blades back, keep the chin up. Draw the keep the chest up and draw the chin down a little bit. Now go into about an 80% of your back bend. If it's available, grab your heels, and then towards the end, let the back of the head fall back. What happens all the time when I'm teaching classes is that people jam their head back first. And when you jam your head back first, it limits your back bend because that's a neck bend, and we don't want to do that. So here, everybody looks great. Their hips are forward, their chest is lifting, they're really opening up the throat. One more big breath. And then slowly release to a child's pose. Now here, I'm just gonna let the girls stay in child's pose for a few breaths. For you at home, if you want to do child's pose for a breath or two and then take a second set, here's where you will do your second set. I'm just gonna let the girls chill for a minute, getting back into their breath, getting back into their intentions. Second sets are really for the people who just wanna go further. They wanna warm up in the first set, and second set they can go further. So you can go ahead and do your second set. And then we'll release back into downward facing dog. And then you can stay in down dog, take an optional vinyasa, plank, chaturanga, upward dog, exhale, downward facing dog. We are going to make our way all the way to seat. So take your eye gaze forward. You can bend the knees and jump through. If that's too intense, you can jump forward, bend the knees and come to your seat, or you can get there any way you can. Taking the legs out, reaching the arms forward, pull the belly in, and round down slowly on your back, one vertebra at a time. And then once you get here into Shavasana, we'll take the right knee into the chest, nice tight interlace grip. So this pose is excellent for our digestive system. As we're pulling the right knee to chest, we're working the ascending colon, and we're helping to just kind of remove some of that congestion in the belly and in the colon. So as the knee works towards the armpit, really feel that stretch. We'll take a knee down twist, so right arm right, knee comes across the body. So a lot of times the questions I get here from the students is my shoulder supposed to be up? Is my knee supposed to be up or down? Yogis, it's completely up to you. I cannot answer these questions for you. If it feels good to have your shoulder up and your knee down, do that. If it feels good to have your knee up and your shoulder down, do that. Every day is gonna feel a little different, so you can play with that alignment. Nice job. Slowly release. Extend the legs straight up, flex the foot, and gently lengthen it all the way down. Good. Same thing, other side, left knee to chest. So this is considered like our cool down flow. Oftentimes in the practice, we want to rush through these more yin poses, but yogis, these poses are just as important as the vinyasa portion of the practice. You want to make sure you use these last few poses of the flow to wind the body down. Reach the left arm out and rotate the knee across the body. A knee down belly twist. This is a great pose for people who have tightness and congestion in their lower back, any sciatic problems. This is a great pose, once again, like we talked about earlier, to detox the core. You're lengthening those erector spinae muscles, those muscles in your back that support your spine and keep your body standing. So really massage this part of your body. Slowly release, extend the legs straight up, flex the foot, and release the leg all the way down. Bridge pose, so bend the knees, place your feet flat. So make sure that your feet don't sickle. What happens is that people take their feet like this, pigeon-toed, or they take their toes out. We want to make sure we keep our feet perfectly parallel. Roll onto the shoulder blades, keep the chin away from the chest, press down and lift up. Good. So it doesn't necessarily matter how high you get the hips because everybody's body is going to be a little different. We just want to make sure when we're lifting the hips, we don't jam the chin down because then that flattens the spine, the cervical spine. We don't want to do that. So we're lifting up here. Good. Sometimes you can interlace or sometimes you can keep your palms down. That's up to you. Now stay here or walk your palms by your ears. Exhale your breath out, and on your inhale, push up into a wheel or a chakrasana or Urdhva Dhanurasana. And the adjustments are great. You can see some of the girls walk their hands in closer. They're starting to adjust their feet a little bit. The adjustments are It's everything in yoga. So adjust until you feel your sweet spots. One more big breath. And then slowly release. Draw the chin to chest, draw the head down, the hips down. Keep the feet wide and draw the knees together to touch. So the feet come wide, knees come together to touch. Your hands can come down by your side. Just kind of draining out that pose. Keeping the breath nice and strong. Inhales and exhales. Now we're going to move into a final inversion. So traditionally we'll do a plow here and a shoulder stand. If you like to rock up and take a traditional headstand, if you're practicing forearm stand, maybe you wanted to do that. If we want, we'll go into plow. So take the knees together, inhale, chin up, take the legs all the way up and over. If plow is too intense because you got something funky going on in your neck or shoulders, there's days where I leave this pose out as well too, because I do have some stuff in my neck from a car accident, so I'm really mindful of my practice. If you're like me, maybe you just want to take the very inversion of the pose, which is legs up the wall pose, just legs straight up. The girls are doing great here. Their chin is extended, their legs are over. We'll hold on to the lower back, take a big inhale, lift the legs straight up for shoulder stand. Now, shoulder stand is like any other inversion where you want to stack. So what happens typically is people's legs are so far over their forehead, but it's hard to know that because when you're upside down, nothing seems as normal as it would if you were right side up. So just think about lengthening up, and then stacking your joints. Beautiful job, girls. Take the knees by the ears just to kind of get a really deep stretch in the lower back. This is so great. Yogis, this pose helps to boost melatonin. It helps to boost serotonin, oxytocin, norepinephrine, and lower cortisol. So all those really good hormones that help us be in a good mood and sleep good at night, and lower that really gnarly stress hormone. Pull the navel to spine. Let's roll down. One vertebra at a time for a fish. So legs come out straight. We come up onto the elbows, toes and heels touch. Push the elbows down, roll the shoulder blades back, lift the chest and drop the head back. Maybe the head touches, maybe it doesn't. Don't worry about it. Just open up your chest. Your legs are engaged, your feet are engaged. Awesome job. And then slowly release for your final Shavasana. Maybe there's a pose that you really wanted to get in practice. Now that you've been flowing for a little over an hour, you're warmed up. So yogis, if you wanted to take a pose that you didn't get, you can take that now. Everybody else, just find your final Shavasana. This is the reward. Your palms are open to receive. Your body's nice and open. And again, because everybody's different, oftentimes you want to at least spend at least 5 minutes here. But if you have more time, when we take this time to relax and meditate, we heal our body on such a cellular level. We're really wreaking havoc on our bodies because we do so much now and our world demands so much of us. So remember, give yourself this time. This is where you connect, yogis. This is where you reconnect to yourself. So thank you so much for showing up today. Thank you for doing your practice. Thank your body. Take this great energy into your day, into your life, into your friends and family, your children, your animals, and make it a great day. Namaste.